Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the American Sports Connection. My name is Mike. We're going to sit here and talk about some WWE Monday Night Raw from last night with my buddy Rygal. What's up, Rygal?
What's going on, buddy? How are you?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I can't complain.
No one listens anyway.
Oh, let's sit here and just talk about WrestleMania.
Yeah. So what did you think of Raw last night?
Oh, Raw, that's right. I think it was pretty good. I try to go in with little expectations, and, I didn't hope for anything to happen, and I enjoyed it. How about you?
I enjoyed it. I thought it was better than Raws they've had in quite some time.
Yeah. I don't know, I was a little partial to last week's because I was there. I thought that was a good lead-in, but last night's I thought was great. The only thing I wasn't quite, it didn't quite make sense the way that they did it, was leaving Shane in charge, because after that, how often was he really, what did he really do to be in charge, to further the story?
Yeah, that was weird. It's you lost, but I feel bad, so you're in charge.
Yeah, I mean, and what did he really do? He booked the final match, and that was it, and said, and supposedly said, he's the one who called up Apollo Crews. I mean, other than that, what effect did he have that leaves us wanting next week, other than AJ winning the World Heavyweight?
Yeah, like Lance said, it's quite obvious that Shane was not in charge.
Exactly. Absolutely.
And Lance even said last night when we were talking that it almost felt like they were trying to make Raw as bad as possible to show that Shane was running it, because then people would be like, well, screw Shane, I don't want him running it, this was a crappy show.
But people thought it was a bad show?
No. I meant he was saying that he thought they would try to run the show into the ground because Shane was quote-unquote running it, because that's what people wanted.
Yeah.
I mean, you never know with Vince.
Well, there are a lot of people who were disappointed that the Balor Club didn't debut, or that Bayley didn't debut, and it's just that's what people get for reading spoilers and reading too much into it. Just enjoy the product and don't expect nothing, and maybe you'll enjoy it. Like I said, I didn't expect nothing. I thought it would be cool if, whoever showed up, but I was going to take what they gave me and base it off of that.
Absolutely. All right, let's get into it here. They started the show with Vince coming out gloating, and then eventually Shane comes out, says he was leaving, and then they eventually put Shane in charge, which is we just talked about, which is weird. After that, they had New Day against Barrett and Sheamus. This was an okay match.
Yeah, I understand what purpose it served. For them to kick out Wade at the end.
Yeah.
But, yeah, the match wasn't bad.
It's just, it was almost like you kind of knew when you saw Barrett that, all right, he's taking the fall.
Yeah, more or less.
Because I think he's done in, June.
I don't know. I thought they were writing him off now.
Yeah, probably. But I think his contract is up in June.
Oh, that's possible.
Something like that. I know he's not coming back. That's all I know.
Oh, yeah, he's going to sit out for the rest of his contract. I figure with WrestleMania being the end of the year and the Raw being the start of the year, he was just written off.
Yeah, like Lance said, 20 seconds after Shane went backstage, he made this match.
Yeah.
The other thing that was cool at the end was they kicked Barrett out, but then the Wyatts came out and beat the snot out of the rest of the League of Nations.
Yeah, see, now it's just more confusing. What are you doing with Bray? I mean, first he was a bad guy. The night before, he was attacked by The Rock. And now you're having him come out and help destroy the League of Nations? What are you doing?
Yeah, I don't know where they're going with that. Where it's like, are you trying to make him a baby face, or are you trying to make him like one of those in between guys? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't even know, but it's like when you do that within 24 hours, you confuse a casual fan.
Absolutely.
And it looked like he had new gear on.
I really liked, and my friend Jason said this in the last show. At WrestleMania, he had that like new butcher smock that had like faces or something kind of weird on it.
Yeah,
It was really cool looking.
Yeah, and then last night it looked weird seeing him not in like golf pants.
Yeah.
I was just like, wow, something just stands out, and I don't know if it's like now you could tell what his figure looks like. Like he just looked weird, but not in a bad way, just like different last night.
Yeah, well, and I noticed it looks like he's really like trimmed down and got like more cut, and you could kind of notice it in that getup.
Maybe that's what it was. He definitely didn't look the same. You know, so.
And the other thing that made me laugh about this one was the crowd. Before he put Sheamus in Sister Abigail, the crowd was chanting, "Bray's gonna kiss you."
Yeah, see, I don't know, because I listen on my computer, it doesn't always come through super clear. But yeah, that crowd last night was smart.
Oh, no doubt. That's every year. That's like that.
Yeah, that crowd made it, and unfortunately, there was no wave this year. Not that I saw.
There might have been. I think it might have been in the New Day match. There was a wave.
Oh, okay. So then I may have missed that.
I think. All right. Well, next we had Summer Rae versus Sasha Banks. This was just like a quick filler match to put Sasha over, even though she didn't get the title.
Yeah, but I guess it's like, did they really have nobody else that they could have put her over?
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, but if you look at the roster, it's really split. You have women's wrestlers, and you have, like, total divas and, like, bad wrestlers, and Natalya.
Yeah. Okay, Jason in the chat said, yes, there was a wave, and Sheamus joined along with it.
Huh. Okay, well, so yay! Waves continuing at the night after WrestleMania. During a segment with Sheamus is even better.
Alright, hang on one second. We got Steven calling in. Hello?
Hey.
Hey, Steve. What's up, man?
What's up? What's up, Mr.
What up?
Ennis?
What up, Nacho Cheese? Macho Cheese.
What's up, guys?
Not much. How are you? How did you like
not much. Yeah. So what are you guys talking about?
Are you listening?
Actually, I can for some reason. I went on the YouTube page and it doesn't allow me to for some.
That's weird.
Yeah.
You know what? I think that's why we don't have 6 million people watching right now. You're gonna have to ask YouTube why they blocked out. So I'm convinced that that's the reason why there's not 6 million people.
Yeah. Dude. I got like 3 friends, so that's as best as I can do.
We were just talking about when the Wyatts came out and attacked the League of Nations, and then we talked about Sasha going over against Summer Rae, which was kind of just filler.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you guys agree that Sasha should have won the belt at WrestleMania?
It depends where they're going with this. You know, like, again, you know, I'm going to start doing that this WrestleMania season, like from here to the next one, and stop hoping things as an internet fanboy and then getting disappointed, and then just see what they give us. Let's see where they're going with it.
Hey guys, can you give me 1 sec? I'm sorry, I'm just on the phone with somebody.
Oh, look at this guy. He calls in a radio show, and then he's like, oh, guys, I'm sorry. I'm on another call.
Sorry, buddy. So, some guy's calling me from work. Just give me 1 sec, okay, guys? Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry, guys.
Let's hit the Jeopardy music. No, but what I was going to say about Sasha is I was like 50-50 on it because I really like Charlotte as a heel.
Yeah.
I'm a really big fan of her as a heel. So I wasn't really, like, upset that they went that way.
No, I kind of agree, and it's kind of, I guess, being in so many chat groups on Facebook, I start to see like how many people just complain about the most random things, and I realize I'm one of those people.
Yeah, you can say that.
So yeah, I anytime a good heel has the belt, people just bitch and complain. Well, we want this face that we like. Well, then this is going to be the face era.
Yeah. And the only other thing, and I've talked about this at great length on other shows, is I wish they would let Charlotte stand on her own as opposed to needing Rick.
Yeah, but at this point, if she goes away from Rick, actually, that may make her more of a heel.
Yeah, well, like, my whole thing was I was hoping she would eventually turn on Rick and, like, beat him up or something and say, like, I don't need you or something to that effect.
Yeah. Yeah, there has to be a situation where she's just cold in order to make sure to get the proper, ovation. Like, that's why, like, not to jump ahead, I'm really curious. Like, WWE is not deaf. They know Reigns is getting booed out the building. They know Styles is being cheered in every building. I'm curious about why they would book him like they have. We'll talk about it later, but that's my biggest question.
Yeah, it's just like a head scratcher. Alright, well, next we had Apollo Crews' debut against Tyler Breeze. This was just obviously a quick match just to get him over and familiar with the fans.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm back, guys.
Oh, you left? We didn't even know.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice to say to me. Yeah, well, I'm kind of an idiot for leaving you guys, so I apologize.
Nah, that's all good. We're just sitting here getting ready to talk about Apollo Crews' debut.
Oh, wait, hold on. What was Steven's thoughts on if Sasha should have won the title?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Charlotte, like, I don't know, I think it would have just been, that was kind of my problem with the whole show for Mania, was that a lot of the matches, the way they were booked, it was just, a lot of good matches, just the endings were just really off. And even my one buddy said it's probably would have been a top 10 WrestleMania of all time if some of these finishes would have been a little bit different, So, but I don't know.
The booking was really strange, I will say that.
Yeah, but I don't know. Yeah, this Apollo Crews, yeah, man. I've been watching NXT the last maybe 3-4 months, and this guy's impressive, man. And when JBL said on commentary, this guy has a mega star potential, I mean, he hit it right on the nail. He does have the potential, But I'm just kind of fearing that Vince views him as like another Bobby Lashley. Then we're all fucked.
No, I think he may have less of a personality than Bobby Lashley. Like, I'm sorry, I love Uha Nation, I always have, but he's always told his story in the ring. He's an indie guy. He never had to cut promos.
I was just going to say, that's his main weakness.
And he's about as exciting as watching paint dry. He's bad. But he's great in the ring. And hopefully Vince will see that, but I don't know if the crowd is going to get behind him.
Yeah, like Jason said in the chat, you can't be a megastar when you can't handle the mic.
Unless you have Paul Heyman doing the talking for you.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I'm a really big fan of Crews, but I thought them bringing him up might have been a little premature because they should have let him maybe work on his mic skills a little more.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Lance says he did not see the it factor for him.
You know what? For me, I see it in Apollo Crews. The one guy who I do not see it with is Baron Corbin. I'm sorry, but
Me neither. I think he's boring. That's Baron Boring right now. I will never call him Baron Corbin.
I hate Baron Corbin, and hate is a subjective word, but I do.
I think he's boring.
Yeah, he just comes off as a real douchebag, you know? Like, really, I just...
Well, he is.
Well,
Yeah.
I was going to say, if you've seen Breaking Ground when they did it on the network, he really is an asshole.
Yeah, I know when he was in that nightclub or whatever, and the one guy's trying to like tap him on the shoulder, and he just was having no part of it. You know,
But that I could also understand, though. I mean,
because you want your privacy.
Where I am, if I'm that big, I don't. I'm small. I don't want nobody hanging on me. If I'm that big that I can push you off of me, God knows you ain't gonna be touching me for long.
Yeah.
All right. Well, moving on. After that, we had Roman Reigns cut his promo where he got booed out of the building.
But you like him, so we're going to give him the title.
And his promo that he cut was just so... You could tell, like, Vince wrote it. I'm not a bad guy. I'm not a good guy. I'm the guy.
Didn't somebody just say that? Like within the last 7 days, I heard somebody refer to Roman Reigns, or those exact words said pertaining to Roman Reigns, and it was like deja vu. And I'm like, wait, didn't I just hear somebody say this? I just seen that in wrestling somewhere. Like I would bet my life on it.
Yeah, probably with Mania over now, we're going to get more suffering succotash promos.
Oh, God.
Did any of those guys who come out surprised you?
The guys that came out, I was surprised KO did.
I was surprised AJ came out.
Yeah, that too.
Because, this is the first big TNA name that WWE's ever had.
Yep.
Well, and aren't they, supposedly, they're paying him a ton of money, so...
Doesn't matter. They were paying a lot of WCW guys tons of money, and they buried the fuck out of them.
Well, yeah, you got a point.
Bring them over. Like, that's what has me so surprised by this whole.
Yeah.
Like, what changed that somebody Vince McMahon didn't make is allowed to keep his name, and now is in the world title 4-way the night after WrestleMania.
I think it's just another guy that can be on the card. That's a good worker. That's dependable. He's not. I've heard nothing about good things about him backstage. Like, he's not a fucking piece of shit or anything. Like, he's actually a pretty good human being.
Yeah, because for everyone that didn't see Raw, we had Jericho come out, then AJ Styles, then Kevin Owens, then Sami Zayn, and eventually KO and Zayn, pair off, and Jericho and Styles pair off, and they KO and Styles get knocked out of the ring, and Reigns spears Jericho.
Yeah.
And, of course, to a chorus of boos. And then that eventually sets up the 4-way for the number one contender later in the night.
Yeah.
Which, we'll get to that later. After this, they had Corbin versus Ziggler. I thought it was an alright match. I just don't like Baron Corbin, and we all agree on that.
You know something though? At that segment though, when all four of those guys were in the ring, I knew that's where it was heading off. Like, it was gonna be some permutation of those four guys fighting for the belt. That's where I started questioning, where could this be going? Any one of these guys who wins is going to be loudly cheered over Roman.
Yeah.
And you're pushing Roman as the super babyface. So, like, that's where my first flag or question mark went up.
And then, I don't know, I'm sure you guys don't watch the Today Show, but I read about this. I saw that he actually called Cena out on the Today Show, and I was like, oh God, please don't do that.
Yeah. I only saw part of the interview. What did he say? I didn't see all of it.
It was basically something like he was taking over the Today Show, and they were saying, "Oh, well, Cena's a special like co-host or whatever." He's like, "Well, it's my house now," and something to that effect.
I don't know. But here's what's gonna happen. It's gonna be the worst heel turn ever, and we're not gonna know who's turning heel. Cena's gonna come out and attack Reigns, and the whole crowd's gonna fucking their heads are gonna explode because they're not gonna know who to boo, who to cheer, and it's gonna be like crossing the streams.
Yeah, it's just gonna be a giant clusterfuck.
Can you just imagine if they would have had that at Mania? Cena comes running out, and then turns on Roman, who would boo, who would cheer?
I think he'd get overwhelmingly cheered.
But then they'd be cheering for Cena.
I know, it's like the double-edged sword.
That may be the only... But then you wouldn't be turning Cena heel. And and the next time Cena would feud with somebody, he'd get booed again, so it would be a waste.
Yeah. All right. Next, we had Zack Ryder, where he was cutting a promo. Miz came out, challenged him for the IC title, and we had this match. I thought it wasn't too bad. I felt bad how they did Ryder. That's all.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. You want to know why Maurice got involved? Apparently, I heard something today that next season on Total Divas, they're going to replace Alicia Fox and Rosa. This makes me sick. With Maurice and Renee Young. That's why they were involving Maurice in the storyline.
Well, what's wrong with Maurice?
Well, she's fucking... I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Total Divas. It hasn't been good since, the first season or two, but, hey, Maurice is fucking hot, and Miz is the
luckiest man on the planet, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You can win the lotto twice and still not be as lucky as Mike Mizanin.
Oh, God.
Lance says, we all knew Ryder wasn't going to hold the belt long. At least he got it.
Yeah, but that brings up the point. I guess it is worth it to say that he won the title at least once in his career, but is it really worth it to know that you won it from one night, to lose it, to bring your opponent's wife back onto television?
Yeah.
Here you go, Steve. Lance says there's no way he would watch Total Divas. You couldn't pay him to watch it.
Yeah. I don't know. I thought that was such a great moment in Mania when he won it, though. It was just... I think even in the back of my mind, I was thinking that maybe just the writers and the people backstage couldn't really come up with, anything else to really... Because maybe they thought KO was going to retain, or maybe Sami Zayn's going to win the belt. I don't know. Maybe they couldn't really come to a conclusion. They said, fuck it, we'll just give it to Ryder for one night, the next night he could lose it. That's, but... So.
And it's weird because they're wrestling again tonight at the SmackDown tapings.
Yeah.
Yeah, he invokes his rematch clause.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think Miz retains there. I think that's pretty safe to say.
I wish they would have waited till Payback, because it kind of would have went hand in hand, because he lost and trying to get payback. What the hell do I know?
Yeah.
Yeah, but then Vince would have to deal with the working man's champion being fucking champion until the next pay-per-view. I'm sure once Vince realized who he booked to win, he's like, I booked him? I'm fired.
Yeah.
Vince had a dementia moment.
That's funny. All right, next it was Charlotte cut her promo where they had all the women in the ring and presented her with the women's title. This was hilarious for the point of they really got Charlotte rattled, that crowd.
Yeah, you know what? That got borderline disrespectful, but tough shit.
Yeah, because they really wanted Bayley, and they were just going off. And you could tell she was really rattled, but eventually, she rambles for a little while, and Natalya eventually attacks her and puts her in the sharpshooter, I believe.
See, if they could give Natty the belt, I'd be happy with that.
She deserves it.
Well, more than anybody on that roster.
I actually agree here, Lance. He said, "This is a time I wish the crowd would shut up."
Yeah.
Yeah, but especially with that crowd, the Raw after WrestleMania, you know.
Yeah, you know what? That's also to be expected. You know, she has to learn how to control the crowd. You don't see Stephanie McMahon getting all fizzled, you know, and she's been booed consistently her whole career. She'll talk right over you. She don't stop. Or she'll find a way to shut the crowd up. She'll say something that'll get the crowd.
Yeah, like when they chant for Punk, I remember her saying before, "I don't know why you'd want to cheer for a quitter."
Yeah, you know, like, nobody gave her a fucking punchline to say that. Like, she came up with that on the spot. And that's why, like, when people do mess with her, she shuts them down.
That's right.
Absolutely. All right, next we had another repackaging vignette of Epico and Primo.
I think I actually missed that.
It was like it showed them in like Puerto Rico sipping from like coconuts or something, like the most stereotypical like Hispanic Puerto Rican thing you could do.
Oh, so Carlito's coming back then.
That maybe.
Because, like, wasn't that basically Carlito?
Yeah.
So they're the Puerto Rican Carlitos. Which Carlito's already Puerto Rican, so that works. So they were being repackaged as Carlito. So they'll go from Tito Santana's kids to Carlito's. One of them is Carlito's cousin. Look at that.
Yeah. So I guess it works. All right. Next, we had the Usos versus the Dudleys in a tables match. This was okay. Nothing special, but nothing terrible.
Yeah.
I got nothing to add on it.
Yeah, I was going to say, I like how they had the Dudleys actually hyping themselves up as the heels as opposed to at Mania where they were like pandering to the crowd.
Yeah.
The only other cool thing after this match was the Dudleys went to leave and Rygal said he had to go back and rewatch this. The Enzo and Cass made their debut.
I missed it. I woke up this morning and I went back and I watched stuff that I could have missed. And as I'm skipping through what I knew I watched, I see Enzo Amore on the screen. I was like, did this really happen last night? And I missed it because I was in the bathroom. So, yeah, Enzo Amore, Big Kaz, and now on the main roster. I hope they don't just get lost in the shuffle. I'm very excited. And the Lord Villains are coming up today.
SmackDown.
Oh, yeah, that's right. The Vaudevillains are debuting tonight.
Yep.
Which is so odd. I wouldn't have expected that.
Yeah.
I mean, I loved Enzo when he came out and was trashing Devon. That was funny.
Yeah.
I've always been a big fan of those, but that's... Here you go. Lance told me he needs subtitles for Enzo.
Hey, I take offense to that because that's how I'm typically talking when I'm around a lot of people. Because him and I sound fairly similar with our accents.
Yeah, he said last night in the BWR chat room he got like every, third word or fifth word, Lance? It was something to that effect. That maybe it's because we're on the East Coast that I'm used to it because I'm only 3 hours from you, Rygal, so I'm kind of used to it.
Yeah, I mean, that's how I use it. I mean, because saying soft to me, S-A-W-F-T, isn't, I don't say soft. It's soft, you know, it's spelled S-A-W-F-T. I mean, you know, that's how it's said. Like coffee, like that's New York. He's just turned up a notch.
Yeah, because he's actually from North Jersey.
Yeah.
Him and, a lot of people that don't know this, him and Cass went to high school together.
Yeah, they, high school, they knew each other from playing basketball on in the park.
It could have been that, too.
Yeah,
Lance said he thought he was from another country. I will say this. love Enzo and Cass on the mic. They're not the greatest in the ring, but they're good enough.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. How come Carmella wasn't called up with them?
Because she's garbage. That is the reason.
I mean, that's about it. Like, she's
not an ugly chick, but like, come on, they're doing enough with the girls right now. They don't need to add another talentless one.
It's Vince's plan to break them up, like he tried to break up Rusev and Lana.
Oh Jesus! She's one of the few NXT girls that have come out that aren't. I hate saying this. That aren't really wrestlers. Like, she's learning to be a wrestler, but she didn't come in a polished worker. She was a good cheerleader or an actress, or like she wasn't involved in wrestling.
And what's interesting is her dad is a former wrestler.
Who? Oh, that's right. Yeah.
He was like a enhancement guy.
Yeah.
what was his name?
It wasn't the Brooklyn Brawler, so pretty irrelevant.
Let me see. I'll pull up the Google machine.
She's not Jewish, so you could be sure that Barry Horowitz isn't her father.
No, not at all.
What about Iron Mike Sharp?
I don't know, but she's
her dad's name was Paul Van Dale.
I think I remember him. Yes.
He was basically a job guy in the 90s.
Yeah.
Oh, he was the guy that Earthquake sat on. Okay.
Yeah.
That clarifies it. $1 million man stuck a $100 bill down his throat. That's what his claim to fame was.
Probably.
I would not tell people that if that's what my father did for a living. My dad got beat up in fake fighting.
Yeah, really. Okay, next we had Sami Zayn cut a promo in the backstage area, and Kevin Owens beat the crap out of him.
I know I'm going to get heat for this, but I'm already tired of Sami Zayn.
You know what, Rigel? Me too, brother. I'm the same. I don't know.
I like him in the ring, but the character is kind of just like, eh.
Yeah. Bland old mania.
I'm sorry. That's El Generico. He says Olay. He puts his finger up and says Olay. That's him. Like, to see him as just like a skipping, redheaded, French-Canadian, Arabic guy. Just... that's El Generico. He must be working in a Mexican orphanage.
As Lance calls him, Sami Zayn the taxi driver.
Oh, God.
Yeah, more or less. Like, either that or, he's about to deliver a newspaper to my door in the 1920s.
I agree with Robbie here. He says all he does is come down and they do that punching spot with Kevin Owens every time.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Robbie? I thought that was Julie, hence why I said hi, Julie, before.
No, that's Robbie, I forget how to say his last name.
Yarborough?
Thank you. Yeah, that's him.
Yeah. He loves the Oklahoma City Thunder. He's such a mark for them. Oh, every game it's like, thunder up, kids. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see when they play the Raptors in the NBA Finals. Who's going to be thundering up then, huh?
Well, when you guys want to come battle for the basement, either the Nets or the Knicks, we got you, bro.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Fuck out of here. I can do better.
Oh, man. All right, moving on. We had the main event, which was Kevin Owens, AJ Styles, Jericho, and it was supposed to be Sami Zayn, but Kevin Owens beat him up and he was unable to compete. So they brought someone else out, and it was returning Cesaro.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
That was a good match.
Yeah.
next week Cesaro's gonna like be in a match with the Social Outcast. So
yeah, because I was like, really, Cesaro in a main event match?
I hope this means good things for him. At least, like, look, I don't care if he's a fucking champion. Give him decent opponents. Like that whole speech that Stan Hansen said at the Hall of Fame. It just comes down to opponents. You don't need a fucking title. Give him good matches. That's it.
Yeah. Hey guys, what'd you guys think of the Hall of Fame? I didn't really talk to you guys about that. What'd you guys think?
It was alright.
Yeah.
I think Michael P.A.'s he should not have been given that much time to talk, and I don't even mean that as a joke. Like, they went an hour and 3 minutes.
I felt so bad for the guy that was with him. Shit.
Jimmy Jam Garvin.
Yeah, I thought he was going to, like, have a stroke because he was, like, gasping for air. And I'm like, give the guy a glass of water, for God's sake.
Yeah. I did like the story of when, I guess, with the gun or whatever. I thought that was hilarious. But yeah, they gave him too much time. Even Stan Hansen kind of babbled on a little bit too long, But it was a pretty good class. I mean, it's not, they had to kind of diversify. You got to give the guy, the Godfather some little bit of mic time.
That made me laugh because we're in a PG product, but yet we're going to induct a pimp and have women that are quote-unquote hoes come out and dance with him.
At the Hall of Fame, yeah. I was like, oh my God, like, are they doing this at the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, I was seeing, Linda McMahon there in the front row. I was kind of looking at her facial expression. She was not impressed at all. She just thought...
Well, and the women they had come out were, like, barely wearing clothes.
Oh, no, they weren't bad compared to Attitude Era standards.
No, I just meant... because of they're trying to be this PG product, and then they do that.
Yeah.
I am disappointed that he didn't tell me to light that blunt up.
Yes, I was very disappointed, and he couldn't say. It was funny. They wouldn't say "pimpin' ain't easy." They would just say "it's not easy."
Yeah.
But in his defense, like, how many kids are like watching the Hall of Fame? Like, really, it's mostly adults. I mean, a 10-year-old kid could care less about the Hall of Fame. So
this is very true.
I do agree with that.
They should be able to say, well, they shouldn't say fuck, shit, cunt, whatever. Like, but at least kind of,
colorful story language. Yeah, you don't necessarily need to cuss, but.
Well, there was only like a couple people that went long because when you think about it. The Godfather was very short. Jackie was very short. And it's funny, you talk about the Hall of Fame, Steve. I'm pretty sure they cut off the Big Boss Man's daughter, the other daughter, because she was going to, like, say something, and then they kind of, like, shoot him off stage.
Yeah.
The Twin Towers.
Man, those girls were huge.
Yeah, I caught such heat to go, oh, it's nice to see that the new Twin Towers are inducting the Big Boss Man. I caught so much heat. It's like, you're so cruel. I'm like, look, I'm just calling it as I see it. It's not my fault they weigh 600 pounds and they can play defensive end.
Well, and the one girl looked like she was at least, like, 6 foot.
Yeah.
No,
oh my God.
They were just large human beings. I felt the pull.
Yeah. Yeah.
The gravitation.
You know what's interesting is that Slick did the induction, but I heard
they hate each other.
Yeah. I was reading in a shoot, he had a shoot interview a couple years ago, and yeah, he does not he liked Akeem a lot more because obviously Akeem was a little bit more likable back in the day, but. Why would he induct him if he doesn't, I don't know.
He needed a paycheck.
Yeah. I would have had the one gang do it. Just do that. If he did that, like a Keem dance, oh, man, I would mark the fuck out if he did that. Oh.
That whole, give me an amen thing got weird for a minute.
Yeah, like he was trying to, preach to you, and then he's like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm used to being in front of my church.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, I mean, it was just this is not wrestling. What are you doing, bro?
Absolutely. Well, getting back to this, there was a great match in the main event, and Styles goes over on Jericho to become the number one contender. Now I'm going to give Mania a little break, considering how Styles lost at Mania, but then won on Raw, so maybe that was the plan all along.
You know what? I mean, but, it would have been nice to see... Alright, it comes down to this. Does AJ Styles need to beat Chris Jericho at WrestleMania to mean something to any part of the WWE universe?
You could go both ways.
Because I would think, with as much as he's accomplished, and now that they're bringing other New Japan stars over, so they're giving equal footing to New Japan by recognizing what he's done in New Japan, they're kind of like, look how talented this guy is. Like, we're bringing up other companies. Like, look, New Japan, he wrestled Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, it's like, look, he throws a phenomenal forearm and knocks the Miz teeth out.
Yeah, I just don't know if he needed that. I mean...
My fear is they're only making him the number one contender to build Roman Reigns up.
But that's going to be... Alright, this goes on to what I was saying before when Steven was so nice enough to, call a radio show and go take a phone call. Where could they be going by putting one of the biggest babyface pops in the company in AJ Styles against Roman? I mean, he's not deaf, Vince. He may be old and stubborn, but he can hear. What could he plan to hope to gain from it when he knows Reigns is being booed and there's no way he's going to get out of the situation with Reigns being cheered?
Yeah, it's strange.
If they try to turn AJ heel, the crowd's going to go crazy. Because it's against Roman. If AJ wins, the crowd's going to go crazy. If AJ loses, the crowd's going to be angry as fuck. Either way...
They basically painted themselves in a corner.
Unless they're turning Roman heel.
And he kind of the way he spoke and acted last night, it's like he almost started to do that.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know, it's just none of those people in that ring would have gotten a boo over Roman Reigns.
Absolutely not. Well, you saw even at WrestleMania, in that ladder match, other than Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens got the biggest pop out of that whole match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe Vince is beginning to listen to things. They changed the Divas title. There are changes being made. He's a tepid old man. He may not want to break from tradition that quickly, but it's his tradition because he broke from tradition when the Attitude Era started.
Yeah, I guess Triple H is winning small battles.
I mean, Vince was backstage watching NXT. He's not a stupid man. I mean, if he's do you realize how little they had to spend to promote Nakamura? Think about it. All they had filmed was one 30-second segment that was basically filmed on fucking Skype.
Yeah.
That said, Sami Zayn, NXT Universe, I will see you in Dallas. That's it. That's all they spent was a Skype phone call.
And he was over more than anyone that night.
That weekend.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Yeah,
would have
that
had
was
him
a
debut
great
in front
match.
of 100,000 people. That would have literally blown a hole in the roof.
That was a great match he had with Zayn, though. That was fantastic.
If I remember correctly, he's wrestling Elias Sampson coming up.
Who?
Yep.
The guy that they have is the Drifter character, Rigo.
Oh, okay. Cool. And I watch NXT.
Actually, I kind of like the character. It's actually kind of creepy, and I don't know. I like it.
It's very odd, I will say that.
You know what WrestlePro did? And sorry to change the topic completely, but it's on cool characters. I gotta find the clip and send it to both of you. They have a Making the Murderer kind of wrestler And the way he's introduced is by a video, and it's fucking genius. Like, the first time I saw it, it blew my mind.
Really?
Yeah, I'm sorry. It just made me think of that.
No, you're fine. Lance said in the chat room, he says he doesn't know because Vince is a stubborn guy. He will keep the same thing going. He's not worried about money.
I think that if Vince can see that he can make more money, he'll go for it. Because it's become, like, unequivocal that this style of wrestling makes money. Or that it draws.
I agree. The other thing I was going to say, just off topic, is I don't know with the cheers that he's getting how much longer they're going to be able to keep Kevin Owens a heel.
Yeah. I don't know how long they're going to be able to pull that off.
I just don't like him as a babyface.
I think the closest he'd get to babyface is like Stone Cold level.
But if they do that, then it probably won't be that bad.
And by I mean like anti-hero. I don't know if he could get full-fledged face.
Yeah.
But I think he can do like anti-hero.
Your buddy Ragal, the Jolly Green Giant, Anthony Remy, says Vince is doing a great job with the company. And Robbie says that Owens reminds him of Bully Ray in TNA.
I can see the similarities. I think Bully Ray actually took a lot of what he saw of Kevin Owens in Ring of Honor and incorporated it, because Kevin Owens has been this way longer than Bully Ray was Bully Ray. Like, Kevin Owens was this snarky, very bad, but funny and witty and very quick-witted guy for a long time. And I see a lot of it in Bully Ray as opposed to the other way around.
I always liked Bully Ray. The character, at least.
Oh, I absolutely love the Bully Ray character.
I agree with you, Lance. He says they need to let Bubba be Bully Ray in WWE.
Yeah, I mean, he claims he couldn't do it in a PG market. He couldn't do that character in a PG company.
It'll be interesting to see, because if they're going to feud the Dudleys with Enzo and Cass, I think that could be entertaining.
Yeah, they have to put over, like, because I've heard it from a lot of the podcasting guys. Everybody's putting over Kaz on what potential he has. I don't necessarily see it, but then again, I've never had an eye for big men.
I was going to say he probably does, just because of the fact that Vince loves his big men.
No. This is like coming from Austin and stuff like that.
Okay.
Like, he sees a tremendous upside, and I forgot who else he had on the podcast that agreed with him and was put over what raw talent Colin Cassidy is. I know he's not bad, but I guess I just don't see it in the big men. But I rarely do, unless I grew up with Kane. Kane's the greatest big man of all time. So
yeah.
To see anybody come up and try to compare, it's not even in the same class. Kane did a Huracan Rana. Get out of here.
I was going to say, because Cass, when I watch him, he does the good big guy match.
Yeah, and to me, that just bores the ever-living crap out of me, so I can't even tell you that I've ever watched much. As much as I love the two of them, I can't say I've ever watched much of Cassidy in the ring.
Yeah, no, because usually what happens is he gets the hot tag and does his little thing, and then they do the splash, and the match is over.
Yeah, Enzo tends to be the worker.
Yeah.
Yep.
Enzo's got the whole package.
Except for his size, and if he
I was going to say, if it wasn't for his size.
My name is Enzo Amore.
Lance calls Colin Cassidy Kevin Nash 2.0.
I don't know. Let's see how those quads hold up.
Yeah, no, as long as he doesn't try to do a big boot and then just collapse.
Every big guy does a fucking big boot. I've come to accept this. It's a staple big man tool. Everybody gonna kick somebody in the face. Now it's like when you could do it like Eric Rowan and do a beautiful spinning kick, then that's what I call impressive.
Yeah, that is impressive for as big as he is.
Luke Harper's another one that's amazing for a big man. You forget
that's such a huge loss that he got hurt.
Yeah. Harper's like my favorite worker probably in the whole company, like big man worker. Like
he is so underrated and underappreciated, I think.
Oh, absolutely. And if anybody in the chat room doesn't know much about him and wants to see more of him, look under Brody Lee, Brodie, Lee, Lee. He's also been, I believe he was on either Jericho's podcast or Austin's podcast.
I think it was Jericho's.
Yeah, I do too, and he's awesome to listen to. Like, he tells such cool, cool stories. Like, he's an interesting interview. So I would recommend going back, look for Talkers Jericho, and go look up the podcast with him.
Because if I remember correctly, he blew his knee out.
Yeah.
Yes.
So he's probably going to be out for the rest of the year.
It could be 9 months, yeah. He said he got, it's Brody with an IE, just so you know.
He always when I look at him, and this isn't fair to compare him, but we all do, is he reminds me so much of Bruiser Brody.
Yeah.
But he said he actually got the name from Mallrats.
Okay.
Brody Lee.
Well, that's cool.
Wait, no, Brody, and the guy's name is Jason Lee, who plays him. Jason Lee plays Brody, I believe. I don't remember, but yeah, he got the names from Mallrats.
I agree with Robbie. He says, all the Wyatts need a push.
Except for Strowman, because he deserves just to be pushed off of a cliff off of a television set.
He's the only thing he hasn't gotten yet is the working, but I can't really be mad at him because they've thrown him in a situation where he's had less than a year experience.
But bro, just his whole face, his face looks like it shrunk down. It's just, I have trouble looking at him. Now I understand what Vince McMahon felt like Christian. I could wish he would just put a blue dot over Strowman's face.
That's funny. Because I was going to say, the thing about Strowman that I thought is hard to get when you're a worker is he's got, the mean facial expressions down.
I just think he's ugly and deformed.
Yeah. I agree with that, Lance. Lance said now the Harper's gone, get rid of Eric Rowan and Strowman and let Bray be by himself.
Yeah, because I just don't get the Wyatt family to begin with. They're 4 big men. Who's your workhorse? Who's your IC champ? Oh, I guess Harper.
I was going to say it probably would have been Harper.
Yeah, because they were the tag team, but I guess, yeah, seeing that he was the IC champ, he would be. But I don't know, that's such a weird group. I don't know.
I know, and Robbie says it should be you against Strowman at Payback.
Man, I'll whoop that ass. Get out of here.
I'm sorry, Ray. You
that one.
You know what?
You'd eat your lie, buddy.
No, because it would be a special stipulation.
What's a stipulation?
It must be able to do a backflip off the top rope match.
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
Now watch this motherfucker pull off a double.
Listen,
Top
right now,
that.
I'm 6'5" and I weigh 250 pounds. I think he would kick my ass.
Lance told me he went to a WWE live show in Canada, and he was in like the first or second row. He saw Strowman up close. He said he is frightening. He was like, you know how most people don't have like those back muscles in between your like shoulder blades? He was just like, yeah, he's even got those muscles like jacked up.
God.
And right then, Lance said it'll be Rygal gets a gun match.
Yeah, and then Strowman has the ammo. That's the catch. I have the gun, he has the ammo.
I'm actually really curious to see where they're going to go on SmackDown tonight with the vaudevillains of all people debuting, and how they have Ryder and Miz, having another rematch. It almost feels like with them calling up a lot of these guys that they're slowly trying to do a split the brands.
You know what? I was just about to say, like, I haven't watched SmackDown in probably 2 years. I don't feel like I've missed anything other than stupid, pointless rematches of things that were on Raw.
It's so bad. Like, for example, I know it's WrestleMania week, but last week they had 3 matches on the entire show, and the rest of it was just like build up to Mania.
Yeah, and I could have told you how bad all those matches were because I sat in the audience and watched them.
Oh, I forgot. You were there, yeah.
Yeah, and then it was so funny because the kids next to me kept telling their father that they were at the wrong show because everything said SmackDown. And then the father, who obviously wasn't a wrestling fan, had no idea and got up to go ask the ticket agent. Well, of course, he had no idea because he just worked. I mean, like the security guy, he don't know. He just fucking stands there. He doesn't know what the hell he's watching tonight. So they disappeared for like half hour. By the time they came back, everything said Raw. They sat down. They did something for Raw. And then they switched back to SmackDown. And then the father got even more confused. Bro, I was crying laughing.
That's funny. I agree with that, Robbie. He said Morrow, the guy that's the new play-by-play guy, makes it somewhat watchable.
Oh, he's great.
Oh, yeah. He's going to replace Cole, like, as soon as possible.
Oh, God. He is so horrible to listen to. Him and JBL.
Oh, Anthony Remy, while I got you in the room, I am sorry I didn't meet you last week. I was legitimately stuck between a 7-year-old Roman Reigns fan and like a 13-year-old Brie Bella fan. And I had children 5 deep on either side of me. So getting up for anything other than one time to pee was just not happening. So I apologize.
And I can confirm this.
Yeah, no, I was telling people, I was like, I got nothing but kids next to me. And it's like the kid next to me started crying when everybody booed Roman Reigns.
Oh, no.
The girl next to me was very disheartened when the crowd booed the Total Divas.
And shame on them. I mean, now it's over with, but they have all this crap with the Brie mode on it. And Steven can tell you this because he watches Total Divas. Brie mode just means to get friggin' drunk off your ass.
Yeah, it promotes binge drinking, basically. That's what it does.
I wish I would have known that because I would have told that to the girl's parents next to me. Well, I hope you know that by buying your daughter Brie mode gear, you're condoning binge drinking.
Yeah, that's what it stands.
Oh, I know. And then I would have ruined the girl's wrestling moment. I didn't want to be that guy, but I could have.
And Lance said you were in the PG section.
I chose to be PG, but yes, I mean, there was some chance I would have liked to join in on, but because I will one day have kids who I want to take to events like this, I didn't join in. But there was Cena sucks dick chants, fuck you Roman. I'm telling you.
Hey, for once in a while, we got babyface Rygal.
Around kids, absolutely. If I'm smoking a blunt and walking down the block, I'll even put it out before I go 30 feet within anybody's kid. If I'm walking and I see somebody in the street, yes, I smoke weed on the streets. I'm a hooligan. Get over it. But I'll cross the street just because it's my habit. deal with my cigarette smoke. I don't care, but not weed.
And Robbie says in the chat, says Stephen G is like, just say no.
Stephen G is like, just give me.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, give me a sit on my face match with Brie Bella. I'll take that all day long.
Only if I get Bertha Faye.
Oh, Lord.
Wow.
Isn't she dead anyway right now?
Yeah, that's right. She's dead.
So that makes it 10 times worse.
It'll just be a little ripe.
Oh, God.
I like beef jerky.
Yeah, that's fucking hilarious.
Oh, my God.
So, Raga, when does WWE come back to Brooklyn?
I believe SummerSlam.
Is that the soonest they come?
I believe so, yeah. But then we get them for SummerSlam, NXT. Can you fucking stop sitting on your phone, Mr. Graveic?
What's up?
You're like molesting your phone.
What did I do?
Stop moving.
Sorry.
It sounded all like you were moving around.
Yeah, well, we get
I'm sitting down now, so sorry about that.
answering phones, molesting.
Anthony Remy says you guys get NXT, SummerSlam, and Raw.
Yep.
And it's this year and next year.
He is accurate. We signed a 3-year deal to host the event all weekend.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And then it's probably going to go back to California for like next decade, but New York is so accommodating.
Yeah. You guys are so lucky, man. You guys get all the events. Up here in Canada, we don't get much. Well, we got the Roadblock pay-per-view in Toronto, but I mean that was an alright pay-per-view, but I mean it's not. I mean they held it in the Ricoh Coliseum, which is probably about 6,000-7,000 people, but it's still it's a nice little building. But
I was going to say, plus they had split shows that day.
Yeah.
Because they had one, the Roadblock one was in Toronto, and then they had a house show in Atlantic City that day.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, because that's where I forget who in one of the groups was asking like, "What was the result from? Why did I get to see Owens versus AJ?"
Yeah, I remember that. It was the main event. The main event was Owens versus AJ in an Iron Man match.
And it was it was only promoted like on social media. It wasn't mentioned for the pay-per-view. It was like, well, why didn't they have it on there? I don't know. Why don't you fucking Google it?
Because they're in Atlantic City.
Hey guys, what's Joey Ryan's girlfriend's name? I don't know. Google.
Anthony Remy says that the United Kingdom will get a WrestleMania before Canada.
But Canada's had one. Couple.
Yeah,
I'm going to say they've had at least 2.
WrestleMania 6 in 1990 and WrestleMania 18.
Yeah, because that one was the one with Hogan and Rock.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you guys are never getting one again.
You're never getting one again. I had talked about this with you, Rygal, and I keep hearing more and more about it, that Philly might get the 2018 WrestleMania.
If they think that they can fit the people in, where? In the football stadium?
Yeah.
Dude, do you guys have a dome?
No.
Huh. Because I know New York put in another bid.
Because they just renovated the stadium to put in however many more seats to try to get WrestleMania.
Interesting.
All I know is if they have WrestleMania in Philly, I'm definitely going.
Oh, bro, you have to. I mean,
I might actually fly. I might actually drive up there and see it because it's close enough to where I think Philly's about maybe 5-6 hour drive from where I am.
That's not bad.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we should all. Yeah, 3 of us should meet up, fucking get shit faced and have some fun.
Oh, I'm all for getting shit faced and having some fun at wrestling.
Because Philly is maybe an hour from me.
Yeah, and Philly is 2 from New York City.
Anthony Remy said he would try and go.
Yeah, that would be cool, man. I mean, if we could get a couple of us to go and just, I would never spend the type of money again that I did for when I went to Mania here. I'll never spend that money again.
Well, Lance, you got a point. He says after that horrible Raw crowd weeks ago, no way they will get Mania.
This is, but you know what though? People who go to, what are you doing to your phone?
And that's not me.
Oh, I know, because I could see it changes Stephen Graveic when all the noise comes through.
I'm just kind of like pacing around. I'm not doing anything else, buddy.
No, I don't know if your mic is rubbing on your shirt or something. That's what we're hearing.
Oh, okay.
So it sounds like that.
And Lance said he's going to start walking from Vancouver to get to Philly. He says he'll be there in about 4 years.
I don't know if Vince would consider the Philly crowd or would penalize a whole city, because most of those people who come from around the world or other cities. So
I was going to say, because a lot of the crowd to me is the European fans.
Yeah, or just people who fly from all over the country for that one event.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get a lot of people from England. You get even from the Middle East too. I saw some Indian people from India there. Saudi Arabia. It's all over.
Yeah, I seen signs from. We came from Australia. We came from Tokyo. So yeah, I mean, absolutely.
Dude. Speaking of Australia, did you guys see that sign at WrestleMania? It's probably the sign of the whole crowd. It was the best sign that I saw. It says, "The Commonwealth of Australia officially condemns Roman Reigns." I was dying. Oh my god.
I gotta tell you, I thought Triple H, I don't know if I want to say he got hurt, but when they did that spear spot where he broke through into the crowd, I swore I saw his head bounce off the concrete.
Not hard enough. Cena wasn't on Raw, right?
No.
Huh.
So he must have just, when you think about it, he really didn't even do anything. He just threw punches at Mania.
I thought that whole Rock thing at Mania was stupid.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it. You wrestled here. Fucking go make movies.
And it took up a lot of time.
Yeah.
I didn't expect WrestleMania to be 5 hours.
Well, when you think about it, I think that's another reason why it was, bad, because when you think about it, if you were a fan and you got there and saw all the pre-show and everything, that's 7 hours of wrestling.
Yeah, that's too much. 7 hours of WWE wrestling.
Yeah, that's just too much.
Yeah. I know somebody who actually went. He sat kind of in the nosebleeds. He says it took him till about 3:30 in the morning to get back to his hotel. That's because they were just so exhausted. They left maybe about midnight. They left the stadium midnight, and the hotel is about 10 minutes away from the stadium. And he goes, "Steve, we didn't get to the hotel till 3:30. It was that bad." So
I had 2 people I know went, and they said that they must have turned down the mics because they said Roman Reigns was booed way worse live than what it came across on the network.
really, wow.
Oh, absolutely.
They probably did it in Brooklyn, because I think you told me the same thing, Rago.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, Jesus Christ. He was out of the building. The kid next to me cried over it.
Lance wants to know if either of you guys know why Mania went so over.
I don't have a clue.
I think maybe because they, I guess quantity over quality wins the day, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know, other than the Rock segment, but he had to have been told to go that long.
Anthony, you could have got it on either. You could have got it on pay-per-view or the network. Because I know someone that paid I think it was $60 for the pay-per-view. tell you what, if I had to buy it the old way, I would have definitely wanted my money back.
I don't think it was a bad show. I mean, I didn't think Ambrose was going to win.
That was probably the most disappointing match because I thought it would have at least been a little more competitive.
Yeah.
I was upset with the very end of it where Lesnar sprayed the fire extinguisher in the ring, because having Dean lose after this whole build and Lesnar kind of like walk away, kind of just like shaking his head, would have done more for Dean than just about anything.
He was like he was just being a dick.
Or just like look at him in fucking incredulous wonder, like that this guy just took me to the limit.
Well, you could tell he was gassed, Lesnar, because when he got out of the ring, you saw him for a second like grab like the side of the ring or something and kind of bend over to catch his breath.
That he should have sold that more. He should have sold more surprise that Ambrose had that much of a fight.
Yeah, I agree with you, Robbie. I like that. He said Stephanie looked hot when she came out for her thing, and he was fine with that.
It was so funny when Reigns speared Stephanie and then she was on the ground. She had this look on her face like Roman Reigns just banged the shit out of her.
I gotta give Stephanie credit because that was a hell of a bump.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just, like, the main issue I had with that show, Mania, was they really hyped up the Lesnar match, and they really hyped up the Shane and Taker match, and to me, neither one delivered.
No, and then somebody had both of those in his top 10 for the year.
Oh, I remember that. That was a joke. We're not kidding, Steven. This group we're in, someone had those two matches as one of the top 10 matches of the year so far.
Oh my god! You know what the worst thing is? Because I'm a big wrestling historian. I don't know, like I know Rygal, you are. I don't know, Mikey, about you, but I know up here in Canada we have a channel called 360 that basically shows Raw and SmackDown. Lance knows this, but apparently they ranked WrestleMania 17 as the greatest WrestleMania of all time because they did a top 10. And WrestleMania 3, which had Andre and Hogan, was not even on that damn list. And I was like, how can you fucking not have WrestleMania 3 on that top 10 list?
Yeah, that's crazy.
How? Just
considering the greatest match of all time happened on that pay-per-view.
Yeah. Rygal, I gotta disagree with you, buddy. I think that was a great match, but I think the match he had with Warrior at WrestleMania 7 was better just because it's, think about it, it's easier to have a match with Ricky Steamboat than have a match with the Ultimate Warrior. I mean that's pretty,
Oh, I put, like, my favorite match of all time is the retirement match. And as evidence of this, I have the Warrior and the Macho Man definitive moments collection of that match. But
wow.
I think the greatest match that I've ever seen was Steamboat Macho Man.
Yeah.
That's how I put it. I mean, like, opinions are like assholes. We all got them and they all stink, so.
Yeah. All right, Anthony Robbie wants to know, guys, what was both of you guys' favorite and least favorite match from this year's Mania?
I liked the Women's Championship match. I thought it was a good match. My least favorite? I don't know. Probably the main event, only because it was a lose-lose situation, I think, for the company.
I was going to say the same thing about a favorite. It's either the women's or the ladder match. My least favorite was either the main event or the Undertaker match because it dragged so bad.
It's also just not believable with Shane.
Yeah, God, you just reminded me because he takes a last ride, kicks out, takes a choke slam on the steel steps, kicks out, gets breaks out of the Hell's Gate, it's like, come on, don't insult my intelligence.
How about you, Steve? What was your favorite and least favorite?
Probably favorite would be the ladder match, just because I love seeing Zack Ryder win the belt, and also just there was a bunch of really cool spots in the match. My least favorite one, even though the match wasn't bad, I just hated the outcome, was Dean Ambrose and Brock Lesnar, just because Dean needed to win that match. I felt like what is there to gain for Brock Lesnar to win that match? Really, I just don't get it. Ambrose needed that desperately. He didn't get it, and I was just like, I don't know. I kind of got tuned off a little bit by it. I mean, you know.
Yeah, because it's like you just squashed him, and it's like, now where does he go?
Yeah, yeah.
I would care a lot more if I didn't find out that he's one of the top 10 paid in the company.
Yeah.
He made over $1 million last year. I could give a shit less if he loses every match. He's getting paid $1 million a year.
Yeah.
All right, your buddy Acer says the ones he enjoyed was the ladder match and the triple threat women's match. And Robbie says the same thing. He agrees with you, Steven, about Ambrose and Lesnar.
Yeah, yeah.
I agree with Acer about the elbow drop with Shane. That was kind of crazy, and that was really the one spot that kind of got people excited because the crowd was dead for that match.
Yeah.
To me, it was just a stunt.
Yeah. And if you rewatch it, there's like some kind of pillow or something underneath the table.
Yeah, and Shane missed. I think Shane missed completely.
Yeah, he overshot it.
No, I don't think he shot it enough. I think he hit the direct corner and it went straight down and pushed the padding back. He fucking missed it though, because I was like, oh shit, there's padding there. And they showed the replay. I'm like, he didn't hit the padding.
And they said he had something like on his back to protect his back. I forget what it was called.
Jesus.
I was reading, but those bruises he had on his face were fake. I was reading that they were like makeup put on.
You know what though? But I actually bought it only because of you take a fall from that. Like, I didn't know how he landed. I didn't know if he fucking cracked the side of his head when he landed.
I know what you mean.
Like, that was kind of just like, but what is it? Like, okay, when Taker threw Rikishi off, that seemed like it was, it just happened. Like, Shane was like, let me look up the cell that no one's on top of. Like, it was just, Undertaker lays there for like 3 minutes. I don't know. It was just too stunty for me.
Yeah, at least the one with Rikishi seemed more believable.
Yeah.
I like the one with Shane back in the day when he jumped off the Titantron onto Big Show. I thought that spot was way better than the one.
I agree.
Yeah, that one was. Oh my god. I thought he was dead.
Like Robbie said, when Shane did his jump, he thought that the announcers oversold it.
Yeah, because I think Cole was saying, "Oh, Kyoto, check on him. What the hell are you doing?" Like,
don't do it. What the hell's wrong with you?
Yeah. They should have been more.
God damn it, Shane!
Yeah, JBL's cussing at him.
Yeah, they should have been a little bit more subtle, like,
It was somebody like, damn it, Shane, get down, don't do this.
They should have been like, yeah, Shane, just don't, please, just don't do it, just, be very quiet about it. But they're like, blah, 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 blah. Just, oh my God, shut up. Let the moment fucking take place.
You know what,
I agree, Lance. He said at least he walked away, so that's all good.
I did enjoy it in the moment, though, because they did give the sense of panic.
Yeah.
When I went back and watched it again, I was like, damn, he's fucking annoying. But I guess at the moment, because, bro, I don't care what we say now, when we were all watching that, we're all like, yo, is he going to die?
Oh, I really did, too, because he just kind of laid there like a corpse.
I'm talking even before he jumped. Like, I'm looking there going, this nigga's crazy. I'm just looking at it. I'm like, yo, that's high. I don't care how much of a stunt that is. Like, this nigga's crazy. And, like, I got hyped, like, and I'm getting hyped thinking about it now. But afterwards, it had no place in a wrestling match.
Yeah, like Lance is saying, I agree with him. He says, why would they say anything? It's not like Shane's going to hear them.
Yeah.
Yep. Shane's watching on the Titantron and listening to his in-ear earbuds.
I love the crowd chanting, "Please don't die." It was a little it wasn't very loud. They said, "Please don't die, please don't die."
Yeah, but that's one of the times that people were chanting it and, like, actually thought that it was, like, a risk of, like, possibility. Because usually you chant it when they do something serious, but nobody thinks they're gonna get hurt. This was like, yeah, we know what's gonna happen.
Because how high do you think that was? What, a good 30 feet?
I'd say closer to 20, because I don't think those panels are 15 feet apiece. I think
that's what I was thinking. I wasn't sure.
I'd say 25. I was saying 20 to 25 in that range.
Yeah, and that's just to where his feet are.
Yeah.
You know, and then you add another 6 feet. He could be up about 30 feet between, you know, to add on to what Steven said, like, his head is about 25 to 30 feet up off the ground.
Yeah. Robbie says 20, 25. Lance says 30 feet easy.
Oh.
I just don't think the cell panels are that. I don't think that they're 15 feet each up, because I don't think Undertaker comes, like, to half of a panel.
Well, it's high enough to die.
Just going off of benchmarks, I'd put it between 20 and 25.
Yeah, but still, that's crazy.
Oh,
and
you would never pay me enough
made
money.
me appreciate Mick Foley so much more.
Yeah, because I nigga didn't have pads.
Well, that, and he did like a freaking somersault off.
Yeah, bro, you just, no. I wouldn't do that into a pool.
And when you think about it, I remember, because I went back and watched it when he did it, and he hit the announcer's table and, like, bounced off it like a basketball.
Yeah.
Apparently, Lance used to make Hell in a Cells for a living.
Yeah, he told me that before. He used to make those the pieces.
No, I think Lance would just sell entire Hell in a Cell sets to people.
Yeah, there you go. Make some money.
Yeah. And if you really had money and you had a lot of kids, like if you were Mormon, he'd make you an elimination chamber.
Lance says Foley's pad was his head.
Yeah.
I liked the second spot better when he went through the cage, like that for me, because the chair ended up hitting him in the face when he came down. I mean, that was.
But you know that wasn't planned.
Yeah, that one wasn't planned. No.
You know what? By that time, look, I'm still a human, and there gets to a point where I realize what I'm watching has become real, and it's kind of like I'm not enjoying this anymore. Like the one that's him off the cell, actually, the two matches with him in the cell, him and Hunter. The one that really bothers me, and I will not watch under any circumstance, is him and Rock, Royal Rumble 2000 or 99. Where
yeah, the one where Rocky's just wearing him out with that chair.
Yeah, I've seen that match maybe twice in my life, and I will not watch it again. It bothers me that much. I watched it live, and then I remember watching it back on the network, and I was like, I don't want to watch this because it really bothered me.
Yeah, that's like me in like scaffold matches because I have a fear of heights. Like for myself, I have a fear of heights, and you know, every time I see a scaffold match, I just shit bricks because I just fucking hate it.
Bro, I work on ladders all day long, and when I think about what these guys do off of ladders, and then climb a ladder, look above their head, put both their arms above their head, after being knocked in the head for the last 20 minutes, and then take a briefcase off of a hook, man, get the hell out of here. I don't want to go up there with a screwdriver.
Yeah.
Remy says when he thinks of Foley, he thinks about that stupid clown guy that's Noel's boyfriend and Noel.
Yeah, Frank the Clown.
Yeah.
Hey, Rygo, I got a question for you, buddy.
Okay.
Yeah. Have you ever considered going on top of a ladder and having your boss like on the ground, and then you do a swanton bomb onto him?
I like my brand new boss. I started working with him yesterday. So
Yeah.
he's cool, but my old boss is like 80, legitimately, and I'd probably kill him. So it really depends on the mood. And if it was that far, it would be like, yeah, I'd probably do it.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna say if it was the old boss, absolutely.
A nice coup de grace.
Yes.
Yeah, Robbie says, of course you have, Rygal.
Maybe not the boss, but definitely the guys I've worked with.
Yeah.
I believe it. All right, everybody, we're going to get out of here for the evening. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we will be back if everything works out next Tuesday, same time. All right, have a good night.
Adios.